much.
No, it's always
Have you
locked.
served in any
It's like
capacity?
every time I look,
Public
somebody
office,
going
Lake County, or
or something, yeah, I don't lock it. It's supposed to be locked.
It's not.
Yeah.
Mental health
For the whole
board,
security. Is that the sign sheet?
what else? Gosh, I don't know, but there's so many of them.
You sign it. I did.
What was, are you still working, or you retired?
No, I'm retired.
From what?
Insurance business.
Okay, so, I mean, assuming you were following things as they were going along in 2018, through the eventual hearing and the outcome of the call for a new election, and I'm just wondering if you know, at any point felt,
The election was running like it was running when McRae was a Democrat. He was doing the same thing as a Democrat that he did as a Republican this time. Only thing about it, they tell me they notified the Democrats, but they never notify the Republicans. And McRae switched from Democrat. His biggest sin was switching from Democrat to Republican. That's what got him in trouble.
in other words, he was for hire. I mean, he did what he did.
He did it for money. And you go to any political rally, and you care who it was, judges or whatever, will get up there and say you cannot win without McRae's support. They would say it over and over and over. So, but I've been knowing him since he's been doing this 10, 15 years. I never done him, do anything wrong.
You're on the board now. I mean, are you comfortable with the way things are, with the way the process is happening
Well,
now?
It's sort of like a needle in a haystack right now.
What do you mean?
Huh? I'm just sitting here, really, and listening.
Do you feel you're?
This is my first meeting, so I'm just sitting, and I'm gonna get my feet wet. Hold on. Come around.
As a Bladen County resident, I mean, how did you feel with the call for a new election? Did you feel it was a blight on Bladen County?
Wasn't that many. I understand there was not enough votes to throw out that would overturn the election. The Democrats, people are hollering, Democrats are stealing the election. That's what you're hearing when you get out among the people, And so it looks that way because if you had enough votes to throw away, and you still had enough votes to throw the election to the man that won it, then there's never been another election.
Do you feel strongly though about the work you and the other board members need to do here for this time around? I mean, the new elections are going to happen, so do you feel strongly about it?
Well, I'm getting my feet wet right now. I don't know. I'm going to try to do the best honest job that I can do.
And is it a challenge? I mean, my understanding is you're all new to service on the board of elections. Is that right?
It is. Everybody's new.
Okay. What kind of challenges does that create?
It creates a lot of studying and learning and all.
And in a short time to do it, I suppose.
And very short time.
I have to ask you, I wasn't clear, the appointment of judges and chief judges to the precincts, does that have to be done before May 4th? Do you need those people in place for the 14th for the primary?
They will have to be there for the May 14th primary.
So you're hustling.
Yeah. And this is my first meeting, so.
So how many meetings will you get? You probably only have one more before the 14th, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Next Tuesday. Said next Tuesday.
I understand. I heard everything you've said about the questions lingering that wrongdoing or not, it didn't amount to, it wouldn't have been enough to overturn the outcome. That being said, even Mark Harris acknowledged at the end that there was enough, there was a taint there, enough of a taint. Maybe he felt he had to do it, but I guess my question is whether he was working for Republicans or Democrats, what Craig Dowse was doing. I mean, how do you feel in general? Do you feel in general the culture needed to change around elections here in Bladen County?
Well, they needed to investigate both sides. Not just one side, they needed to go both sides. And they only went one side.
But just, I wasn't recording when you first started. In the beginning, you had some hesitation about serving. It was just between you and your wife, just whether you
Yeah,
wanted to do it or not?
when when this thing came up and all, and I told her, I said, well, I told her I was gonna take it. She came in the den the next morning. I was sitting there watching the news and drinking coffee, and she started telling me, naming the reasons I shouldn't take it. And she didn't say good morning. She didn't say nothing. She come in through the door, and she must have talked 15 or 20 minutes about things that I shouldn't do.
So she had objections herself.
Yeah,
She had her
right.
own reasons.
Yeah.
So what made you decide you had to do it?
Well, I was playing golf, and they called me, and just, again, so I said, well, I'll talk to my wife, and then I went home and I mentioned it to her. She said, yeah, go ahead. Said you want it, I said, go ahead.
And then I'm just curious, were you appointed or nominated by the party?
Yeah.
Okay, you were, because
I
know
was
that-
approved on the original, when you turned the other two members down, and I was the third alternate, I was the alternate. They approved me at that time.
So you had been named in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just the State Board of Elections had an objection to the other two people because
Those
they had
two-
previously served on the board.
Right, and approved me.
I got it. And correct me, was it an inaccuracy in the reporting? Because I thought I had read that you did object to the way the other Republicans were characterized, or to the objection to their being.
I never made any statements or anything.
I just want to make sure to clarify. You just had a.
This interview is the only statements I've ever talked to a reporter.
Well, I feel privileged, and I really do. That's fine. I wanted to be absolutely clear. But I did understand that they had nominated other people from the Republican Party who had served, and the board did not. The state board.
The two
did not.
members that were on the board were rejected by the state board.
Last question. Do you think it's a good thing that you have an entirely new board to deal with the new election going forward?
I don't know. You got inexperience all the way through, and experience is hard to replace. Right?
I'm curious, Ms. McCoy, so she's new too.
It's temporary.
Temporary. All right. And was it Jans? Was it? Sometimes I get my counties mixed up. The previous director. What happened to the previous director?
Cynthia, she retired.
Retired. Just retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Not
No.
fired. Not removed. Not.
She had enough time built up. When the election was over, she went home. And she's babysitting her grandchild. That's what I understand.
I really appreciate Mr. White. I really do. I don't have an agenda here. I mean, my agenda is just to serve my listeners, our audience, by reporting. And I covered the 9th. I've covered the previous scandal. I'll use that word in shorthand. And I want to look going forward. I just merely want to report. I know the state's been working with the county, and that's what I'm here to portray. So I want to reassure you, I'm not interested in portraying the board one way or the other. I'm just interested in reporting on what is being done to address any questions that linger, that were raised by the previous undone elections. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, good. And again, and I'll. I don't know if you listen to our station, but I will.
What channel is it?
So we're North Carolina Public Radio. I think you get our frequency. We have a number of frequencies because we have a signal. We have repeaters. So, in the Outer Banks, I think we're 88.9 or something. In this area, we're 91.5 FM, but it's WUNC Public Radio. And I don't know if you have an email, but I can let you know when the story's going to air.
You still got an email list?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I sent you an email. That's right. Yeah. So if you want, I'll let you know. I don't know. It'll probably be. Hopefully, I'd like to get it on the air before the primary.
I had Eddie that